Hi, I'm Mr. Dave. You're probably here because you've watched my Johnny B Goode piano solo video. I'll start you from a very basic rock and roll left-hand rhythm and take you up in stages to a final Jerry Lee Lewis pumping piano style left hand. So we'll start with this and build you up to the Jerry Lee Lewis pumping piano style, which is this. Okay, so Johnny B Goode is in the key of C. It's 4/4 time, so there's 4 quarter notes per measure. So in the 12-bar blues, you have 12 measures that are repeated. So you'll have 4 quarter notes in C, that'll be, and 4 measures. So we'll go 4 measures in C, and 2 measures in F, and back to C for 2 measures, and then we go 1 measure in G, 1 measure in F, and 2 measures in C. So that adds up to 12. And the other thing I'll just bring in here, which is important, is the backbeat. So in rock and roll, there's accent on the second and fourth beats of each measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So your 2 and 4 is accented, and also you can use some accenting in your right hand chords and whatnot, and we'll get into that later. Now let's move that up a little bit and add the third to that pattern. So perhaps the best thing is I'll just play that simple one through following the 12-bar blues pattern so you can see how it moves. Okay, so let's do that. Okay. You can repeat the video if you want to make sure you got that sequence down in your mind. Then we'll do a pattern to get the third of each scale in there, so you get used to using that third. So your third finger, and what we do is 1 on the root, and then a third interval on 2, and then on 3 is the 1 and 5, and then 1 and 6. Okay, so just practice and get used to so, and then it moves up. Okay, that may sound a bit boring at this stage, but it's important to get your left hand flexible and able to do these left hand rhythms almost unconsciously, because you're going to be having to do a lot of concentration on your right hand because the soloing and so on. So you've got to get this down pat, and that's why I'm spending a whole video on this, on the left hand rhythm. And of course, the left hand rhythm is so important in solo piano playing because it is trying to replicate the drums, the bass guitar, the rhythm guitar. So you've got to have a pretty good driving left hand. You've got to develop that to make to push your piece, to get that rock and roll feel. So that's why I'm focusing and concentrating here on this left hand. So the next stage to learn is adding another beat in there, so, or a half beat. So you're going to go, instead of 4 notes per measure, we'll do 8 notes per measure. So it'll be 1 and 2 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and anyway, you get the idea. So, and then of course try to speed that up, and where you're getting really flexible. And so again, don't forget the backbeat. Okay, you can have that rhythm playing Johnny B Goode, okay, but it's a bit heavy. It's not like having a whole backing band and away you go. So you got to get something in the left hand that is quite catchy and consistent, and some power in there. So the other rhythm I showed you, just to be getting familiar with that third note in there. So it'll be so, get familiar with that, and do it in your 12-bar blues pattern, and try to make this thing automatic where you don't even have to think about it. Okay, now we'll move up to the Jerry Lee Lewis pumping piano. So if you take that last rhythm I showed you, we'll just do a few alterations there, and it'll still be 8 notes to the bar, so 8 1/8 notes. And the Jerry Lee Lewis left hand goes like this, pumping piano. Okay, so you can count it out to maybe make it easier for you. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 you can probably see it there on the 3D virtual piano. So hopefully having you able to see my hand and also the 3D piano, then it should make it pretty clear what I'm doing. But I'll do it one more time for you. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 so get that up to speed and play it in the 12 bar blues pattern, and then we can move on to video 2, lesson 2, that covers the syncopation and power chords. But you need to get this left hand up to, not as fast as I play on the original video, but get it up to where it's really you really have got it mastered. Okay, so it's your turn to learn that, and when you've got that up to speed, then I'll see you in video number 2.